Hey everybody, Olexa here, CEO and founder of Fitfluential, to tell you about, truly, I'm trying to hold myself back, one of my biggest obsessions probably of this year, 2016, honestly. And for those of you that have been watching me on Snapchat, you can follow me there, Olexa, or on Instagram, Olexa as well. I'm pretty much Olexa everywhere, except for YouTube, which is Olexa17. But you can also Google me and find me on YouTube with Olexa. And heck, if you're watching this video, you're already on YouTube, so there you go. Here's the thing. This video is going to be telling you about my love, my mad love, my obsessive love, my stalkerish love for Factor 75. If you go to factor75.com, you are going to see what I'm talking about. And I have actually some of my meals here. My babies that I'm so excited about. But the truth be told, I love these people. I met the folks that founded this company. They're here in Chicago. They are nationwide. Let me say that up front. One of the first misunderstandings that people have when they hear me talk about this is they think Factor 75 is just in Chicago. And they're a meal prep, meal delivery service. It is not just in Chicago. When I first met them, they were just in the Chicagoland area. Then they expanded regionally, and now they are nationwide. So wherever you are, you can become as obsessed as I am and change your body and your health and really your mental health as well by adopting this amazing meal prep and delivery service. I have a lot to tell you, and I'm also going to explain not only, there's several factors as to why I can seriously tell you that connecting with them and now having them deliver my meals every Monday, I have a week's worth of meals, how it has changed my life. And I mean, it's changed my body. It has changed my mental state of mind. And frankly, it's changing the way I feel better. And I'm going to explain why in several of those areas, because I know, so many of you that have seen me sharing this on Instagram, on Twitter, on my blog, and on Snapchat have responded to me that you have dealt with the same issues and stresses that I have. And that's what I think is going to speak to you about using Factor 75. And that's what's going to make you head on over there, sign up, get started. I have yet to have anybody that I've sent to them that doesn't try out their food and then go, oh my God, this is everything that I've been missing. And then they move on and they're just a customer for life. The food is that great, but what it can do for your life is pretty amazing. Now you might be watching this video going, Olexa, what can food do for my life? You sound a little melodramatic there. I'm not. So let me explain to you first. Let me rewind and tell you how I met these guys. And then number two, I'm going to explain what my issues and why they've been such a lifesaver for me and a life changer for me. And then I'm going to send you on over to Factor 75 because we've got a little deal for you. So you can get yourself a free meal when you make your first order. And again, you're going to be thanking me later. So I met these guys, like I said, in Chicago about 4 years ago. Fitfluential was founded in 2011. I believe I met them in 2012. They started the same year. You heard me talk in another video about my friends at Highly, which is the clothing that I'm wearing here. These guys started around the same time. So I have mad love for both of these companies. Highly on the food side and Factor 75. Sorry. Highly on the apparel side and Factor 75 on the food side. Now, again, met these guys, tremendously amazing background stories of the founders. You can go to their website and learn more about that. Go to their YouTube channel. You'll see some great videos, including Nick, the founder, fantastic guy. I just can't say enough good things about them. But their goal was to make a meal delivery, meal prep service that would not only, hey, we're going to cook your food for you and we're going to ship it to you, we're going to deliver it to you, but we're going to use only the best, most pure, quality, non-GMO, organic, sustainable, locally sourced ingredients as possible. That's a hefty, steep hill to climb, right? To not only be able to get people the food that they want, that is portioned correctly, that is going to address, sensible macros, whether it's low fat, no dairy, gluten-free, paleo, whatever. But also to have that food that they're prepping and planning in advance be organic, again, completely pure, sustainable, non-GMO, no soy, gluten-free, yada, yada, yada. that was his goal, and he's built this company and continued to grow and scale and expand, so that now they're available nationwide. And I can tell you that once I dove in and actually started having the meals delivered to me, and I was, eating them, obviously, not just looking, going, oh, that'd be nice, they have only gotten better with time. I met with them in the first year, and we sat down and I tasted their foods. And then I think I tried a few items. And back then it was a little frustrating because I wanted to tell everybody about their food and their delivery service, but they had limited delivery area. This was, several years ago. So fast forward to today, I've connected with them. I'm one of their sponsored spokespeople, if you will, or raving fans, obsessive stalkers, whatever you want to call it. But I am working with them because I basically reached out to Nick and I'm like, here's my number one problems in life. It became very clear to me with my busy schedule, and I know so many of you, whether you are living in startup life like me, whether you're a busy mom with kids and you're trying to plan meals, you're trying to eat healthy yourself, and you're finding that you're able to provide food for your family, but you're having issues, whether you're a single guy, and you are working crazy hours at the office and you just find yourself eating out, eating fast food, eating takeout way too much, or spending, like I was, way too much money on sushi delivery. Whatever it is, we're all crazy busy. What I found was becoming beyond the bane of my existence was getting out and grocery shopping. And if I did grocery shop, my refrigerator would look good and I would maybe have some healthy meals made for like 2 days. And 2 days I'd be golden. Like I'd open that fridge and I'd have turkey meatloaf made, and I'd have, a certain amount of vegetables roasted, and I'd make some grilled chicken breast, and I'd start the week and I'd be like, yes, I've got this. And then like Wednesday would come. I'd be okay on Monday, kind of okay on Tuesday, and Wednesday would come and I'm looking at the same 2 meals that I had in the refrigerator. I'm like, oh, I can have grilled chicken again and more turkey meatloaf again. And I just found myself bored with what I was creating, constantly throwing food away because I was continually running out to the grocery store, buying more stuff, not thinking about it. I've never had that ability to do organized meal prep, and like some of our bloggers in Fitfluential, they'll put together like their shopping list and they plan it in advance so that they can actually make meals with that when they come home. My brain is not that savvy. I just don't work that way. So I'd go to the grocery store and be like, I'll pick some vegetables up and you make a salad and I'll get some chicken breast. And then I get home and attempt to either meal prep or attempt to make a salad that I thought tasted good. Anybody that has been watching me on any social media platforms knows I've tried to make salads at home and they just don't work. And again, what happens is I try to make a salad, I chop up all this stuff, it would taste gross, or the salad dressing tasted funny. I'd try to make this, fancy, like Fitfluential inspired avocado cilantro dressing, and it just turned out like a wreck. And what would I do? I'd be throwing that stuff away. So I'm just gonna put this out there. I suck at meal prep. I hate grocery shopping. I wasn't doing either one of these things to any degree of success. And all of that was creating massive stress and anxiety for me because when I'm not traveling, I'm working from a home office and I need to be eating to support my training, my working out, right? What I found was more often than not, I was coming out here, ready for lunch or ready when I should be eating a meal, and I just didn't have food in my refrigerator. Maybe I'd have turkey meatloaf and then all I'd have left in there was almond milk and egg whites. So I had enough for, protein shakes, but then I'd have one meal or nothing. So what was I doing? I was either coming in here and stressing out and going, I don't have anything. So I do one of two things. I would either call my sushi place and I'd spend $50. I'm not lying to you. I'd spend $50 and I'd order some sushi thinking, oh, well, I'll stretch that out and I'll get some for lunch and then I'll eat some more later. And maybe I did do that. Maybe I'd have some of the sushi that I ordered for lunch and some of it later in the day. But what happened is inevitably if I did that, that still is not enough food for someone who's training as hard as I am. It certainly was not balanced enough because I was avoiding rice, I was avoiding carbs, not wanting to have white rice, a little bit confused between white and brown rice, all this stuff. I was not feeding my body enough. I was spending way too much money. I was throwing way too much food away, feeling awful about the level of waste and just having massive anxiety because I knew I wasn't doing a good job. I also used to regularly buy these plantain chips because they're okay for my diet and my lifestyle. They're low glycemic, so considering I'm hypothyroid and insulin resistant, they were okay. I always had bags of those back there in the cabinet, and when I wouldn't have food, I would just munch on a bunch of plantain chips. And I mean, there were days that I would have nothing but bulletproof coffee, 2 protein shakes, plantain chips, and maybe, I'd get some sashimi. That's not a balanced diet. That's not nearly enough food. And the food I was eating was, typically way too heavy on the carbs and fats and not enough protein. I was in a cycle that was just awful. And I think so many of you watching this video are gonna be able to relate to what I'm talking about. You have issues either grocery shopping, meal prepping, or maybe you have a situation, I hear from a lot of people where they're cooking for their family and they want to eat healthier, but their family doesn't want to eat gluten-free or paleo or whatever. So they're kind of left picking leftover, maybe heavy carb foods or heavy gluten foods, and they don't want it, but they need something for themselves. There's all kinds of folks that can relate to any of these issues that I've shared. But I was majorly stressed out, and certainly I began to realize that what I was doing was also not in any way supporting my fitness goals, not in any way supporting my dietary needs, not in any way supporting my workouts. So I reconnected with Nick. We'd been meeting to have a meeting anyway, because once I learned that they were available to ship nationwide, I'm like, I really feel like more now than ever, more people for both diet reasons to be able to watch portion size, but also for convenience reasons, the fact that we're all so busy and that grocery shopping and meal prep, whether it's meal prep to go to take with you to the office or to go during your day, or whether it's just meal prep for when you stay at home. I consider myself a foodie. I love to cook. I don't find time for cooking, and I really don't like cooking right now. So for me, the fact that every Monday I can, and what I do is I order my food. They send me my menu list and I can order it, earlier in the week, but it automatically fills up my next order. But people, when you go to Factor 75, you start and you pick, like it's almost a theme. What category are you? Are you dairy free? Are you gluten free? Are you paleo? Do you want to do paleo and dairy free? Do you want to be, and I think there's other options. I know what I clicked on. I clicked on paleo, gluten-free. I think I was okay with some dairy because the dairy that you're talking about in here is like typically more of a Greek yogurt, or I might have checked dairy-free. I'm not quite sure. I have to go back. I typically avoid dairy, but I definitely went with the paleo option. But you can pick what types of meals do I want, and then they're going to fill up your menu based on how many meals you chose. You can pick 5 meals a week. You can pick, 3 a day times 5 days a week, which would be 15. You could pick 3 a day times 7 days a week, which would be 21 meals. You could pick 4 meals. You can pick 10. You can pick whatever you want. I started off thinking I'd just do Monday through Friday, and I didn't order breakfast as much, but now that I've tried their breakfast, I'm doing breakfast too. And what I can tell you is I have a box that is delivered every Monday, and it is filled with, and even, by the way, even their shipping, when you open up your box, it's packed in organic, sustainable materials. It's like, it just reminds me of a bale of hay that your food is wrapped in. You'll see it when you get your Factor 75 meals. But all of your meals come in the same size containers. So, I mean, even that is pretty simple. It's nice because if you can stack this stuff. Look, this is how I stack it in my refrigerator. Now, these are not frozen, these are fresh, these are, prepared for me the week before with all organic. So let me just see what's on here. Don't have my glasses on. Gluten-free, paleo, soy-free, nut-free, dairy-free, okay? The macros, again, depending on what you order, your macros will change, but typically most of the meals that I see and that I record are, I'd say 350 to 500 calories each. I'll give you an example. This is chili lime chicken. You can see what the label's like. Okay, so up at the top, it has a date, April 13th. I'm assuming that's like the expiration date. Chili lime chicken, 400 calories, 15 grams of fat, 36 grams of protein, and 32 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fiber. All the ingredients are listed here, very small, but you can read them. You don't have like preservatives in here. You don't have anything. This is like, Mom made this for you last week. And oh, by the way, it's organic. non-GMO, paleo, gluten-free, soy-free, nut-free, dairy-free. I do not microwave these meals. You can see back there in the corner, I have a toaster oven. One of the best things I bought in the past year and a half, because I just turned that toaster oven up to 350. I will give you this. This is my tip. Most of these say to heat 5 minutes in a 350 oven, take it out, usually stir it or something like that, put it back in for 5 more minutes. I typically I like my food very warm, and sometimes I even like it a little bit, I don't want to say overdone, but more on the overdone side than underdone. So I typically put things in for 10 minutes and then I just check it, and I'll sometimes put it in for an extra 5. I tend to cook most of their meals closer to 15 minutes than 10 minutes, but you get the idea. All I do is take this out, take off the cover, I put this plastic container in the oven, and my meal is ready. And if you've been following me on Instagram, if you follow me on Snapchat, which you should be, you'll be able to see I've shared so many of these meals. People, let me wrap up and tell you something. This has changed my world, because now I don't grocery shop, okay? Now I'm not spending, on a typical week when I was getting sushi and I was ordering, literally every time, when you consider delivery fees and all of that and tip, every time I ordered sushi, it was $50. I was easily spending $150 some weeks on sushi, plus going to Trader Joe's and going to Walmart and getting, groceries from both places, throwing a good portion of that out. Now, the only groceries that I buy, I get the stuff for my bulletproof coffee at Trader Joe's. I don't buy any snacks. That's one of the things that I decided when I started this, was I cut out snacks. And so just doing that, having this food delivered, sticking with my meals only, so I know exactly what my macros are. I do tend to have 1 to 2 shakes a day. So maybe if I don't have breakfast, I might have a Shakeology, and then I'll have 2 meals, and in between those meals, I'll do a Vega protein shake. Again, it depends on my macros, it depends on my working out, but that's typically what I do. Some days I'll just have 3 meals and 1 shake. But just cutting out snacking, getting back to at least 3 meals a day, getting back to eating enough, making sure I'm eating enough protein, and cutting out that snacking, within 10 days of doing this, I literally was walking by the mirror. I could feel, it's my mom texting me, I could feel that my body had leaned out. I could see that I had lost weight in my core, which is where I had been kind of holding on to weight. And by the way, if you do any research, you'll know when you don't eat enough, and you're working out really hard, and you're stressing your body, and your body is going to be tempted to cling and hold on to whatever fat you have left. I know that's what was happening with me. In fact, I'm reading a lot of books now on fat, and how, eating more is you eat more to lose. And I've been a little bit confused lately about, when you have a paleo approach to eating, you eat a lot more fat. Some people got me really paranoid about the amount of fat I'm having with bulletproof coffee and all this. I gotta tell you, I'm having more fat and I'm losing fat. But I am doing some reading. I wanna understand the science behind that. But all that said, gosh, I go off on so many tangents. I can't say it enough. And the folks at Factor 75 are not telling me to say this. This is me. And y'all know, I've been talking about this for months and months and months, how much of a problem I have with food prep. My trainer, Whitney, was always writing to me going, Kelly, you either need to sign up for a meal delivery service, or you got to figure this out because you are not eating enough. My doctor, when I asked him about hypothyroid and everything, and I said, I'm eating this, and this is what he's like, I think you're not eating enough. And that's going to be your problem. Guess what? When I started doing this, I started leaning out, and I am leaning out more. Since I've done this, I swear to God, and I'm not taking any fancy pills, no fat burners or anything like that. It's just eating more, eating sensibly portioned, macro-friendly, paleo. I'm getting, I think what this is doing, I'm getting more protein, and I'm getting great meals. Let me wrap this up. I said that like 5 minutes ago. But let me give you an example of some of these meals. I have chili lime chicken with sweet potato fries. I have country captain chicken. It looks like broccoli. They have like mashed parsnips. That was on one of the meals. It was really good. Country captain chicken. Looks like it has broccoli and carrots. Bacon wrapped chicken. This has become one of my favorites. Mom, you need to wait. And this also has squash and carrots. I did order some extra vegetables, so you can do that too. By the way, let me just put this out to you. When you order, please get yourself the paleo granola, and please get yourself their superfood bites. Literally made me weep. And I told Nick, I said, you have to make that a separate product and just sell it. Amazing! Like, it will make you weak. The only problem is, I think if I had cases of that paleo granola in my house, I would probably eat 2 tons of it. So here's just a winter vegetable mix. Lemon dill salmon, that's one of my favorites. That also has cauliflower and beets on the side. Bacon basted bison burger. Try to say that fast. That looks like it has zucchini on the side and then a tomato chutney. This is the first time I've ordered this. Huevos rancheros, grass-fed burger with sweet potato fries. That's always one of my favorites. Chipotle glazed salmon, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but that's on a bed of roasted parsnips, like mashed potatoes with parsnips. Grass-fed burger, I get 2 of those a week, and then lemon dill salmon. So these are just some of the samples of the meals that I choose. You can edit your order up and down every week. You're not set and stuck with what they suggest for you, but they will make suggestions based on what their chef is cooking. And then you can go in and go, well, I really liked that. I want 2 of those, and then I want to add this, I'm going to take this off. It's completely customizable, and I just have to tell you again, from a mental health perspective, this changed my life. From a convenience perspective, changed my life. From a monetary perspective, I believe, and I'm going to analyze this. I'm going to analyze my checkbook and do a separate video on this. But I believe, based on the money that I was spending in past months and based on what this costs per week, that I am saving money and not throwing food away like I used to. I recycle all of these, the plastic bins, so I feel good about that. Mentally, it's great. And again, physically, I can't tell you how much it's benefited me to go from not having enough food, not eating enough, to eating enough, eating good, clean, sustainable, organic, non-GMO foods, getting enough protein, getting my balance. It has changed my body in 2 weeks, and I will never, ever, ever go back. I can't recommend it strongly enough. Head on over there, and if you sign up with factor75.com and sign up for your first 5 meals, if you use the code FITFLUENTIAL, you will get a 6th meal for free on me, if you will. So please head on over there. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll pass that on to Nick or any ideas, but I guarantee you, if you try this, you will fall in love just like I have. And I hope you enjoyed this 20-minute plus video about Factor 75, which I love and I'm obsessed about and will forever be obsessed about. See you guys soon.